Welcome to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana, and on today's show we have a segment called Mad Mondays. And this Mad Monday was brought to you by Donald Trump in a recent speech that he gave in Mobile, Alabama. And trust me, you want to stick around for that because Donald Trump is quite interesting. But stay tuned because you're watching the Tatyana Show. Don't forget to tune in to the Tatyana Show, November 7th.
Like this, some people just move on past.
Man, you have future plans of, Welcome back to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana, and I know not too long ago I was just talking about how the Panthers had an undefeated title of 14-0. Well, now like every other good thing in the world, that came to an end on Sunday night against the Atlanta Falcons. They played in the Atlanta Stadium and that they lost 20-13. And I'm not sure what happened out there because I'm not an athlete, never played football, but whatever happened, Atlanta definitely took the title. Well, I say took the title, but they changed the Panthers' undefeated season to now they are 14-1. But the Panthers do play again next Sunday against the Buccaneers at 12 o'clock, January 3rd. So, to see if the Panthers going to fight back for, the title and keeping it winning, or if they're just, I don't know, quite know. Sports is so unpredictable, but you can always watch that game, and don't worry, I will keep you guys posted on how that game turns out as well. So if you don't watch it, I'll be there to help you out. But moving along in sports, in case you guys do not know or haven't heard about the drug scandal that is tied to Peyton Manning, he has been tied. It's there's a documentary coming out. It's called The Dark Side: Secrets of Sports Dopers, and it's talking about how is this athlete. Well, actually, it's a British journalist by the name of Lanian Collins, and he goes undercover as a athlete trying to get into the 2016 Olympics. And he go to many clinics to try to get performance enhancer drugs. And while he's doing that, one of the names came up for using performance enhancers are Peyton Manning. He has been tied to a anti-aging clinic in Indianapolis that say they supply Manning with human growth hormones, which is known as HGH, which is banned in the NFL, and that they say that he get the drug shipped underneath his wife's name, Ashley, so his name won't be tied to the drug, but they say that they do supply him with HGH. Peyton came back to those allegations and said that never happened. Never. I really can't believe someone will say something like that, and I can't believe someone is making that type of stuff up. And he said, as for his wife's medical treatment, that's her business. So he's basically saying that he have never used these drugs, and if his wife is, that's her business. He's not touching it. There's nothing affiliated with him. Now, the NFL haven't came back and with a response about these allegations of Peyton Manning using the drug, but when they do, I will definitely keep you guys posted as of what would they do and what's going to happen with Peyton Manning's career and what the NFL has to say. I'm kind of, I'm interested to know, is he or is he not? And if he is, I want to know what's going to happen to, his name and everything that he worked for. So don't worry, I want to know just as much as y'all want to know. So I will definitely keep you guys posted on what's going to happen. But yeah, they say that Peyton Manning has been using HGH, which is banned in the NFL. But in other news, if you are still a fan of Sesame Street, don't worry. Now you have a second chance to watch Sesame Street on HBO. The show does now hitting the home box office channel. And they'll be starting on January the 16th, 2016. After 46 seasons, the show has decided to move their channels onto a bigger network, and also coming along with them are two new characters, one by the name of Julia, which is the first artistic character on Sesame Street, and she is used to teach children about the awareness of autism and how to, you know, get along with people or get along with children that has that disease. So you know, it's a good character, and they're trying to teach young people, and also maybe even teach older people as well, that, you know, how to spot the signs and how to, you know, treat these people just as normal as anyone else would be. And also in the second new character, her name is Nina, and she's the first Hispanic character, and she's bilingual. So, you know, that's going to be interesting and fun to have the first Spanish character on Sesame Street. The show is scheduled to air, I think I said that, January 16th. And also, if you don't have the channel HBO, don't worry, you can still catch the show on PBS. And that new season will start next fall. The new season also featured cameos by Usher, Tracy Ellis Ross, Gwen Stefani, and so much more. So if you have any kids, or maybe you still a kid at heart and still like Sesame Street, you can now watch it on HBO. So go ahead, Sesame Street, you guys are doing numbers. But in case you have the channel TV1, there's a new interesting reality show coming out. It's called The Next 15, and it's a docu series that's following some of our favorite reality stars from the past and present, like Flavor of Love, Tiffany New York Pollard, Claudia Jordan from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Jennifer Brown from Basketball Wives Miami, Camille Brown from The Real World Philadelphia, Loria Goviana from the Basketball Wives LA, Raymond Bazzino Scott from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And the show's goal is to target the stars in the true light of who they are. They say it's going behind the scenes and showing you what is it like for the producer and the talent, and how those shows are sometimes edited, and it can either make or break your career. So, you know, it's showing you a little more deep in detail than just the everyday drama that goes along with those shows that they make, those reality shows. So hopefully it can help clear up a lot of, you know, reality star names, and, you know, maybe people can see them in a better light now, because I know that those shows are edited pretty well. So, you know, it does make you sometimes curve the real reality of those people. But the show is set to premiere in 2016, but the premiere date has not been released yet. But don't worry, when that do get out, I will definitely get you guys posted on when that, so y'all can check that out. And I know I would definitely be checking out the show to figure out what's really going on with these people, because I know Tiffany from Flavor of Love, she was quite a character, and I would love to know who is the real New York, you know. But moving along, in case you are part of the Rihanna Navy, you may be wondering, where's the album? Well, that's the same thing songwriter John Glass has been trying to get people to see, that Rihanna is not putting out the album because she's listening to advice from Travis Scott, and that he's basically filling her head up with stuff about the album can be better and it could be doper, and she need to make trap music. So every time when the album Anti was set to release, it was pushed back because they're listening to the thoughts and ideas of Travis Scott, which John Glass, who is a songwriter for Rihanna, says that Travis Scott is bad for her. He went to Twitter with these thoughts. That's how, you know, we know about this. He went to Twitter and told Twitter that he's bad for her. He thinks he's just using her for her fame, and that he's not that great of an artist. And he don't see how Rihanna and the whole Rock Nation can be fooled by him saying that he could make a doper album when the album Anti is already dope. He says also that the song, I think it's called Kiss Me Better, which Travis Scott is trying to make a song doper than that, and John Glass said there is no song doper than that because that's the dopest song on the album, which he also said it could have been released out on Christmas Day, but because they're listening to Travis Scott, it has not been happening, and that he just really wants, and he said he took it to the public because he really wants people to see the truth, that Travis Scott is distracting Rihanna and he is messing up her business world, and he needs to leave her alone because he do not know what he's talking about. He's trying to get Rihanna to make more trap, ghetto, hood music, and John Glass said that she shouldn't go that route because not everybody is into trap, hood music, you know. Now, Rihanna is the artist, and she has to decide on what happens and what has to happen. So, what you gonna do, Rihanna? You know. And I don't know much about the music business because I'm not an artist, but I do know that if someone, you know, is telling you they're not, you know, someone's trying to look out for you for your best interest and tell you that, you know, they're not the best person, maybe you need to, you know, take things into consideration and reevaluate your friendship with Travis Scott Rihanna, because that album was supposed to be released a while ago, because I've been waiting for it because I love Rihanna, but it hasn't came out yet. And hopefully it's great, it's grand, and it's just compel in the music world, you know. But until then, we have yet to know, because Travis Scott is playing around with Rihanna's mind and making her believe that that album Anti is not as dope as it can be. But that's all the information I have in news. Stick around, because Mad Mondays featuring Donald Trump will have all of you all wondering, is Donald Trump mad? Stay tuned, because you're watching the Tatyana Show. Welcome back to the Tatyana Show, and this is Mad Mondays, and this Mad Monday was brought to you by Donald Trump in a recent speech he did in Mobile, and how that this man is mad and people can't even see it. But hey, I'm not going to be the judge. But this is him giving a spiel about a scandal that he did back, you know, well, the scandal he's thinking about doing to lobbyists, you know. I'll let you guys.
I've been on the other side. You know, I was totally establishment, was hand and millions of dollars all the time to these characters, right? I was like the fair-haired boy. Do I look fair-haired from back then? But I know the game. I mean, I understand it. And so many people have come up, lobbyists. I said I don't want money from lobbyists. But recently, last week, money. Because, I don't know, maybe I'll rethink it. Should I rethink it? Take it. Take it. You know what I should do? How about this? How about if I take his money, but in the end I screw him and don't? Is that okay? Can I do that? You know, because I built a great business and I feel sort of stupid. I say, I don't want your money. Can I take it, please? I promise I won't do anything for him.
Basically, he's saying that he's totally okay with screwing people over. He's speaking out and saying, yeah, you know, I don't care. I'm going to screw them over, take their money, and, you know, not keep up my end of the bargain. And the crowd loves it. They cheer them on. They're like, woo, 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 go Donald Trump. But this shows you a lot about Donald Trump's character as a person. Like, do you really trust a leader that's comfortable with screwing someone over? Like, we have to make a lot of deals with a lot of different people when you're president. Not we, but we as a country. But them as a person got to personally make the deal. And the fact that he's okay with screwing someone over, he may be okay with screwing someone over of a different country, that might come back and backfire us and get all of us blowing up. You know, we already got ISIS on our back. Donald Trump is not making it any better with this beef. He's going to get us in more hot water. He's going to have so many enemies. We're going to have this craziness going on. And then he's talking about building a wall. And I'm like, okay, where's this wall going to be? How are we going to get the money to build this wall? Where we're going to get the workers? What about land property? And what about, it's so many other things that go into just building a wall. You know, you can't just build a wall and say, oh, it's done. And how long this wall is going to take? And then also with this, how he always talks about with his campaign about how he going to make America great. Wow. How in my Kanye voice, how are you gonna make America great? Now once did he tell us, oh, he gonna improve jobs, or he gonna improve roads, or he gonna make, minimum wage go up? Like what are you gonna do that's gonna specifically improve the country? That's why I say he's mad, because he's just speaking out the side of his necklace, but he's not really giving us a full out plan on what he's gonna do. And all his supporters, they love it and they back him up and they cheer him on. And it's like, what is this man even talking about? He's mad. He's crazy. He's mad. That's what I call it. But on his next segment, he talks about NASCAR and how, about how he screwed over NASCAR, basically, in a sense.
So all over, one day it was NASCAR. Trump loses NASCAR. I said, I don't have a deal with NASCAR. It turned out that I lost NASCAR. You know what they did? They rented a ballroom at Trump Doral. Can you believe it? That was my lawsuit. They had a ballroom. And by the way, I kept their deposit and rented it to somebody else. The next day, I didn't even know I had to deal with them. It turned out they had a